Hello guys, my name is Dr. Varun and you are watching Chlorophyll classes only on YouTube. This is another day, another video for 12th class students, and what we are doing with the evolution. And this is the high time. Most probably in your school or maybe in your coaching institute, this thing would be would be done. So, but you might not able to understand it. So here it's correct time to understand it because we are getting ready for the boards and the NEET as well. So let's start with this. In this video, we're gonna be doing the theories of evolutions. Now, to explain the evolution is taking place, what it is, how it's happening, people came and gave the theories. Three people, stories or theories we have to remember. Number one is Lamarck, then we have to study about Darwin, and the last one is the Hugo de Vries. Okay, and these names will be here and there everywhere. Okay, and very important also. So the first theory is the Lamarck theory of evolution. This theory is based on use and disuse of organs. Means very simple. In simple word, if you have to remember in one word, if someone will ask you what is about the Lamarck theory, so Lamarck said that if you use certain organs more, it will becomes more developed, better developed, and keep on developing, and evolution will happen in these organs. The organs which we will stop using, they will ultimately be useless and might not be present in the next generation even. Okay, so this is huge statement given by the Lamarck. So it was, this theory was also called as theory of inheritance of acquired characters. It says that if I started singing like tum hi ho ab tum, okay, my voice, there is no sur and tal in it, okay, but if I start practicing, then my vocal cord will develop into next A.R. Rahman, here's a music composer, wait, singer like Arjit Singh or maybe any other singer that you might know will change into that. But in reality, will that happen? Or will that same thing will goes to my child? No, my friend. So this is the major problem also, but it says that if I acquired a character, it will go to my next generation also. Okay, so he postulated that why that happens. He said that internal vital forces, means internal important, vital means which is important for the survival forces, tends to increase the size of the body. It's try to increase your size of the body so that more the size you can go and do more things. What are those things? With respect to one example he gave, so he said that all the characters which you have acquired during your life, it will be inherited to the next generation, means goes to your children's. He said that when there is a new desire or needs, it's produced new structures and changes in the habit of the organisms, and that is called as what? Acquired characters. Use and disuse our organs, which I already told about you. So he explained it with the help of giraffe. He said that earlier the giraffe were more like was shorter in size, its forelimbs was shorter, not longer enough. So it is these are the hind limbs, these are the forelimbs, they are of equal dimension. But after what, since all the food was up, so this is like food, we are not able to get the leaves, so it's keep on stretching itself. So as it stretched, what happened? Its neck stretched and its forelimb also stretched to make it longer. And that's how slowly these small stretch that keep on accumulating in each generation. Means, for example, if I have to become a giraffe, I will stretch it. These neck will stretch a little bit, and whatever the amount of neck is stretched in me will go into my child. My child will further stretch, and soon we will change into giraffe. It says that. Okay, so it is saying those things over, that after the several generation, it will be this long giraffe that has been formed, and then they will stop doing it now because they have reached to the leaf height, right? Now, what is the criticism? So first is the Mendel law of inheritance. Mendel law of inheritance, when we were studying, if you haven't seen it, the playlist is there. You can go and check it out in the playlist. It says that the genes are what? Genes are very much what? Contrasting traits, or maybe it's a quantitative or qualitative inheritance depending on the number and amount. It won't be like if you keep on it's stretching yourself will change your genes. Your genes won't be changed, right? So this is the major criticism. Moving on, there is a Weismann theory of continuity of the germ plant. What Weismann said? Weismann said that all those kind of variations or the things will go into the next generation, which is present in the germ cells. Germ cells means sperms and the your what we say that ovas. Okay, it like if there is no other cells, like for example the next cell is this. Okay, this cell is not going for its, like the enlargement was what enlargement in case of giraffe was the neck and the forelimbs, but neck and forelimbs cells are not working for this, right, for the making the new baby. It's the sperm and the egg cells. So if the sperm and egg cells have certain changes, that only will go to the next generation. So nothing has been affected in that. Okay, means your germinative cells are not influenced, means there will not be any change. This Weissman said. How it said that? He took an experiment where he took mice or the rat, and for 22 generation, like there's the mice children's, mice grandchildren's, great grandchildren's, he keep on cutting every mice tail and then he let him breed. Normally what should have happened, if they have cut the tail, the next mice should not be having the baby of the cut tail mice or rat should not have the tail present, right? But even after 22 generation, tails were present, which means that somatic cells, somatic means other than the germ cells, if we are changing it, if the body is changing it, removing it or doing anything, it's making no difference on the germ cell. Germ cell has the information about that tail has to be formed, it has to be of this size, it will form like that. Understood? So this thing, so this was a major criticism of the Lamarck. So later on, Lamarck, like when he presented criticism came, he said that, okay, let me make it correct so that my theory has certain points which should be correct. What are correct? Number one thing is that environment do influence the organisms and change its hereditary. That's for true, that as we change into different environment, different habitat, our resistance also changed. Means for example, if you all are in South India who are not adapted to the temperature, but if you comes to the north, in your north, as you will come, your body will try to make things up to you, make the proteins which is physiologically important to you, and maybe you are able to survive in the winters over here. Okay, or maybe your children would be able to survive easily. Okay, so these things can happen. Given an example, okay, don't take it by heart, okay, or everywhere strictly, right? Then the doctrine of desire and the internal vital force do not play any role in the evolution. Okay, means if I wanted to become a angel, had a wings, it doesn't mean that I will make the wings if I want to fly. Okay, so that has nothing to do with your evolution. It won't go according to organism need. Okay, then at least some characters acquired by organisms are inherited to the next generation. That is there. If certain mutation is there or something is like there, it will go to the next generation. We know that the genes which are influenced by the time, it will go, like for example sickle cell anemia. So if the genes are there, it will go to the next generation also. Okay, next is the those variations which influence germ cells or where the somatic cells give rise to germ cells are inherited. Simpler means is that you know that first point. The second point is that somatic cells which give rise to the inherited germ cells means what? Initially somatic cell only will work and differentiate into what? Into a germ cell forming mother cell, right? So that is what they are talking about, that in them if there is any problem which will give rise to them or within the germ cells, then there will be what? There will be a change. With this neo-Lamarckism, modification of that comes. Theory was simple, use and disuse of organs, giraffe example, problems, everything we have studied. Anything come in your exams as a statement based question. Moving on, next person is Charles Darwin, and he gives the theory of natural selection. In natural selection, what he does, first of all, it's a story time. So in the story, we study about the Darwin. So Darwin is like me. I used to love to go different places and explore. Darwin is also like that. So he sailed in a ship which is Her Majesty ship, that is that is MHS Wills, that is ship. This ship went for a 5 years to sail around different parts. So it was a long world trip or tour kind of a thing. Now in this, it reached what? It reached close to the South American there is a Galapagos Islands, which we have studied about Darwin finches in the adaptive radiation. So the same thing coming over here, the whole story. So he reached where? He reached to the Galapagos Islands, which is also called as what? It is called as living laboratory of the evolution, because evolution is taking place, it is flourishing and everything. Okay. Then birds of Galapagos Islands were influenced Darwin to think about the evolutionary process, how different they are. I have told you about these things before also. Okay, because these birds were very slightly different and the feeding habit was different to accommodate over there, right? So birds are called finches, okay, in this language. Later on, they are called as Darwin finches by Dr. David Lack, and it got famous. Then after he returned back, he came across an essay by the Malthus. Malthus used to work of human population growth, how it's taking place. We know that from one person, like from a one, if they made two child, they will further make two child, then they will further make two each. It means what? It will becomes a geometric growth. Means from 1 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32. This kind of growth is seen in case of human population, and he made a theory on it, that is, and he put it in the paper, that is an essay on the principles of population, which influenced Darwin. Darwin is like, okay, if everyone is like organisms grows like this, what about the other things? So later on, he comes upon with other things also, that Malthus only told that the things like food, shelter, it grows arithmetically. Arithmetically means that if you might have studied the 10th class arithmetic progression, which is what common difference every time. So means from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. Means common difference is of 1. It is growing like this. But how your population is growing? 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, means difference can you see over here? So the difference is huge and it is not stable enough to stabilize the growth with respect to the amount of things needed for the survival. Later on, similar kind of Darwin findings were found by the Alfred Walrus when he went on the Malay archipelagos, and he found certain similar kind of things. He also write an essay to what? To our Darwin. Later on, finally in 1859, Darwin published his observation in his book, that is Origin of Species. And he postulated certain things into it. Number one is the rapid multiplication. Every species has a rapid multiplication potential, which is called its biotic potential. Okay, so that biotic potential, it can multiply in the geometric way. Examples, whether there will be a fast breeder animal or the slow breeder animal, like elephants, which used to start its breeding after 30 years of age, and in all life cycle, that elephant, a female elephant, only gives 6 child birth of the baby elephant birth. But if we see about the codfish, which lives in the Atlantic Ocean, it gives millions of eggs in a year. And if all the eggs get hatched, then within the 5 years, all of the Atlantic Ocean will be filled with what? By the codfish. But that never happens because nature provides restrictions. And that is what? That is known as the limited food and the space. Okay, because it is growing arithmetically. Okay. Then there is other thing to that, how nature produced more problems for a species to achieve its biotic potential. Okay, that is struggle for existence. So what will happen in the codfish if they will be so much in numerous number? First is intra-specific struggle. Since all of those codfish want to have a common resources to live. For example, humans. Think about humans. If you might have studied about, if you might have seen the Kalki movie, which is AD something something, which came. So in that also you might have seen that initially there was what? Very less substance available on the planet Earth because the resources are over. So everyone is what? They are attacking each other. Okay, so means intra-specific struggles will happen. Means between the same individual, they will fight over the things, and the fight could be very brutal and severe and could lead to cannibalism if the food is not there. So means human can eat a human also if the resources are not there, and that happens in the lot of cases. Then comes interspecific struggle, means two different species are fighting for the common resources. Like for example, if the world has less food and me is there and the monkey is there, will you let the monkey eat it? You will fight and take that monkey species first out, and then you will take the same species out as well. So this is what interspecific struggles will be there. And then finally there will be the environmental struggles. What environment poses? Environment poses lots of different types of conditions which are give the struggles to the species to survive, and the fittest of them will only be able to survive in all of these cases, which is the next thing that will come up. But what are the factors? Like for example, torrential rains, heavy rains are there, cyclones, tornadoes, floods, droughts. These plays an important role in making a species survive and keeping the check on the population level. Other things also is there, like for example, there could be any reason which is limiting the growth of the organisms. Like for humans, what is happening? Currently we are declining. Like currently we are more than 8 billion people on the planet Earth, and more than that might not be able to survive. Okay, so there is a new trend seen in them, that because the cost of living is so high, people are not doing the babies, they are not reproducing well enough. In certain areas in Japan and certain villages of that places, in 3 months one single childbirth has taken place. Think the severity of it. Here in our India, every day thousands of them, lakhs of children are taking birth till now, but it will also stop, because now the people who are aspirational, they have stopped marrying, or if they are married, they don't want children. Okay, so that thing is what conditions which are being paid, and the mindset that has been coming up. Okay, then the appearance of the variations. Now variations are except identical twins, no two twins known can have a similar features and the things, genes present. And those different things are called as variations present in one another. Certain variations help the individual to adjust much better in these situations. Okay, and they are called as that these adaptable things which are important, they might be propagating to the next generation also. Sometimes what happened, we even know that the non-useful variations also goes to the next generation, but Darwin don't really believe it. He believe that only the good thing goes. Next thing is the natural selection. What is natural selection means? Natural selection simply means that the nature select. It gives its opportunity to everyone, but who is the best at that point of time will be selected. You remember the example of the industrial mammalism, where the black moth and the white moth has been chosen up, means able to survive before and after conditions. You know this, same DDT resistance mosquito, antibiotic resistance bacteria. All of these examples are that nature will put you into certain conditions where you have certain variations which are helpful, will be able to survive. And this same thing is called by the Herbert Spencer as the survival of the fittest. That is, natural selection is by the Darwin, and the survival of the fittest was given by Darwinism was what? Herbert Spencer. Now next is the speciation. Speciation is formation of a new species. So what happened when there is a struggle for existence? Variations and inheritance successive generation tends to become more adaptive to the changing environment. Every generations will help us to adapt to the changing environment, right? After some generations, these adaptations accumulate and they becomes a totally different species and produce a new species from an older species, existing species, right? So it says that keep on accumulating, means directly from me a new species won't come up. Slowly a new species will come up from the existing one. Okay. The key concept of Darwin was two only. One is the natural selection, which we know it. Second is the branching descent. Branching descent says what? It says that if there is a new species, it comes from a common ancestor. So if we take it, so we will see that how a new species is being formed. So imagine that here the species formed. It is a new species. But if you will imagine it from here, you can easily trace down its continuous process of evolution it has followed. Okay, that is a branching descent. It's just like a family tree to know that who comes and from where it comes. Like the way we know that everything comes from the non-living things. Sorry, everything comes from the single cell only, right? Same thing, if you have remember the first lecture, you know that I have made certain graphs like this goes like first this early reptiles were there. Early reptiles from sauropsidas and synopsidas. Remember now that thing? Same, that tree has been find, like he told that we can actually trace down this whole evolution process. Moving on, what is the weaknesses of the Darwin? First of all, he don't know about the Mendel genetics. So genetics is the major weakness. That is also coming up. But more to that is what Darwin was unable to explain the cause of sudden variations or discontinuous variations. What does that mean? If you remember, we have studied that the continuous variation and discontinuous variation. These are the two different kinds of variations present, right? And we say that sometimes what happen, a new species form just after one. Just one, like for example, from me, a new species, like my child is so different than me, okay, than a human species itself. That can also happen. Imagine it like that. Of course, that's more easier in the simpler organisms compared to the complex organisms like us, but that's there, right? So think about that thing, that thing is not able to be explained by it, because it says that variations are what, it's a slow process, it's not a sudden process. Okay, now what is the criticism of the Darwin? So first of all, over specialization of some organs. Now it says that there are certain organs which are so specialized, so big, so prominent, present, although of no use. Like for example, the tusk of the elephant, you know, the white teeth of the elephant, that is called as tusk. What is the use of it? Okay, why it is present? It's not giving any helpful, it's just putting the hindrance only. Same goes with the antlers. There are certain, you might have seen that the antlers are what, the horns of certain deer and the reindeer you might have seen. So they have what, they have big antler, they have more big horns present, which is not providing any goodness to them. It's providing hindrance. They can't run fast. Okay, even they can stuck also in between the bushes also, right? So this theory can't explain this thing. Then the theory does not tell about what is the use of the vestigial organs still present, why there is molar tooth present, why vermiform appendix present, why the mammary glands present in males. No use, why they are present. Okay, then discontinuous variations, he could not explain the sudden change in the body. So this is a major drawback, because it do not have the knowledge of the genetics. Now, what are the evidences which actually support Darwin? First of all, rate of multiplication is much higher than the rate of survival, because survival would be very rare thing. So to compensate that species is not lost, means survival of the species is there, that's why they reproduce more. Okay, then limitation of the resources, that is also true. Then competition for the struggle for the existence. If a man can produce new variety of the plant and animals in the short period of a time, like what we have studied about the vegetables and the dog varieties that we have made, then nature can also, with so much of vast resources, so much of long time, it might have even did this speciation. So again, it is proving it, natural selection. Mimicry and camouflage are the product of the natural selection, because they are helping in what, selecting one individual over the other. So this camouflage thing is being used in the industrial mannerism, right? Then if you don't know, go back in the last video and you can check it out. Then position of the nectary in the flower and the length of proboscis in the pollinating insects, means the nose they had, okay, we will call it nose, or the mouth sucking part, that is a proboscis. Okay, this is how that's correlated, and it go to that length where the nectar is present. The nectar is present very deep inside. The nectary gland in the flower is very deep inside it, so present. Okay, how it is so correlated, means evolution is taking place in both of them. And that is also what co-evolution takes place, which will come in the ecosystem, the next thing that we're going to be studying after the ecosystem, after evolution, right? Moving up, the next is the mutation theory. What is mutation theory? Mutation theory was given by Hugo de Vries. In mutation theory, he says that sudden variations can come and it will make a totally different species altogether. So he conducted an experiment on the evening primos, which scientific name is Ncert Lamarckica. So one, he took that plant. So most of the plant he got it what, normal plant, but some were very different plant. Then he self-pollinated these plants. He found most of these plants were similar like this different plant only. Okay, but still some are more different than this. He went again with this. Again, he found more different plants plus more different plants than the one. So he observed there are 4 patterns present in them. One is the retrogressive changes that are taking place. Means it relates to retro means something back. It leads to what? Loss of any one character. Okay, some character is missing means retrogressive. You are going behind in the technological race, right? Then we have progressive means additional of one or more new characters. Then we have digressive. Digressive means plant becomes extremely weak because very important survival thing is missing. Okay, so their survival is not there, they might die, these plants dies. Okay, that's such a kind of mutation which is of no use. Then we have invariant. They are what? They're similar to the parent but occasionally give rise to new variant. Okay, so these are the 4 different types: progressive, retrogressive, digressive, D means death, okay, and the invariant, which is similar to the parent but still gives certain variations to it. Now, what are the features of the mutation theory? Mutation theory says that discontinuous variations means no continuous variation. It can go front, it can go back. This is discontinuous variations is the source of evolution, because from this only evolution will occur. Mutations are sudden. It can occur just one time. You did not, like we did one time, change occur. Mutation, one time change occur. So means mutation is sudden and becomes operational immediately. Of course, it will be seen in the next generation very much. Then mutation are sudden and discontinuous, while Darwin's continuous variation fluctuations are gradual, small and directional. These are directionless. Okay, it can go to the front, progressive, it can go at the back, that is retrogressive, right? Then all mutations are inherited and irritable. That is what we have said, that here the mutation comes, it goes here. Further, it goes along with the more different things. Okay, the plant looks much different. Okay, same type of mutation can occur in the number of individual of the species. So we said that fewer of them has this mutation, but number of, it's not one, it's multiple people had that. Okay, the multiple plant has that. Then mutation are the coercible in all direction, means it can go in any direction. Useful mutation is selected by the nature. Lethal mutations are eliminated. However, harmful or harmless mutations, which are doing nothing, will persist in the environment. And this is the common example of what? Example of sickle cell anemia. We will study up in the balancing selection topic in it. Let's come up to the what are the evidences which support the mutation theory. Number 1 is that mutation is the actual source of evolution. Of course, different organism is coming, different things are coming up in the organism. So different plant is coming in the organism, that we say that it's what? It is evolution that is taking place, because evolution is what? Evolution is simply nothing but the different kind of speciation that is taking place. Explain both progressive and the retrogressive evolution, because we know that it can go front, it can go back. So it happens, it's explaining that, okay, evolution can happen in any direction. It won't be the good, which Darwin and Lamarck says. It can go into the worst and leads to the done and by of the species also. Okay, as the ratio of the mutation is not same in the individual or their parts, so it explains the occurrence of both changes and unchanged form, simply the differences which they are telling. Then the criticism of the mutation theory. First of all, the plant he took it for this experiment itself is a very complex heterozygous plant who will be so much mutated that there will be what? There is a problem is present in them, that is chromosomal aberrations are present in this. If you don't know what it is, we have discussed these things in our principle of inheritance topic, where we have studied especially all what are the chromosomal aberrations that can occur, dislocation, translocation and all those things. Go back, see that, it's in the playlist available. Whole chapter is done in the playlist, free at your YouTube channel. You can check out over there. Coming back, mutations are not so common. Natural mutation are not so common. That's true. For mutation to occur, we need what? A mutating agent, and that is very harmless because mutation can go in any direction. So slow evolution mutations are good, but this kind of natural mutation seen in the environment is very rare case. Okay, most of the mutations are negative or retrogressive. That is also true. That happen because mutation is what? For example, if any UV rays or radiations came on me, okay, what happened? It will break my chromosomes, okay, break my DNA material, and it will make me what? Can be zombie or maybe deceased or maybe totally handicapped or anything it can do. So means it's what? A negative thing. Mutations are a very negative thing. Okay, so that is what they talk about. Then mutations are generally regressive, means it goes back into the time, it don't add up anything new, while the trait participating in the evolutions are dominating. It cannot explain the role of the nature, because nature influence everything. Okay, because natural selection is very important. So what is one thing you have to remember, that is saltation. What is saltation? It is a single step large mutation which leads to formation of new species. If the new species is formed, we call it speciation. Okay, so that is saltation. This has came again and again and given in NCERT also. Important for NEET, important for the boards. Okay, then comes the major things. What is the difference between Darwin variations and the mutation variations? Darwin variations are what? They are small, cannot bring any big change, and the change comes up when they get accumulated, means comes together slowly, become so big that new species is formed. So it's a slow process, okay, continuous process. But mutations is that they are large, sudden, and sometimes a single step can produce a new species. That is what saltation thing that happens. Okay, then it is directional. It will go towards a good thing. It is directionless. It is random. It can go progressive, go regressive. Then evolution is, according to Darwin, it is a slow, gradual, and continuous process. Whereas mutation said it's a jerky, discontinuous process. It can take as much as time. With this, our topic, that is theories of evolution, is over in 30 minutes. Okay. Now, after this, we're gonna be doing the next topic is your Hardy-Weinberg principle. So what is left in our topic? Hardy-Weinberg principle, human evolution, and speciation. Speciation means what? A new species formation, and there are certain terms you have to remember because that is a part of PYQs given nowhere, but we are doing it on YouTube. I don't know whether any teacher is doing it because I haven't seen any teacher lecture about it, but I'm pretty sure that the speciation topic, which is very important now, is not present on YouTube. I felt that by your famous teachers. That is what I can say. If it is present, I don't know, but we're gonna be doing it on our channel, that is Chlorophyll Classes. Rest, these notes will be available on the links, drive link that will be available on my Telegram page as well as on my WhatsApp channel as well. Plus, we have a lot of things for us. You can take a one-on-one mentorship with me, which is where all your syllabus will be done. We have a board batches going on. We have a NEET special, NEET plus board batches are also going on. So to make your concepts ready, if you're not able to take more than 300 in biology, I make sure that you get more than 330 and even more than even 360 marks in your biology. All students who are studying with me, I even give them that take my NEET and board course or the NEET course, and if you get 360 out of 360, your whole fees will be reverted back. These kinds of offers has been also been running on the Chlorophyll Classes, which about them all things you can learn by DMing me on my Instagram page, that is chlorophyll_classes. Well, that's all for this video. If you like this video, give it a like, share with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe because it's a free for you, but it helps me a lot. Well, that's all. We will come up with the next video super soon. Over and out. Thank you.